Inmate, turn around and cuff up. Man, that cracker better not try me like that. I'm finna splack his ass. What's up, everybody? I'm Blessed and Free. Welcome back to another episode of DOC TV. So, man, from that intro, that's what happens a lot in the Florida Department of Corrections. So there's always going to be an officer or officers at compounds that love to play games with inmates. They not only play games, they also take it a step further. But when they're playing their games, you can be in line in the chow hall and, you haven't shaved, or they're just fucking with you for anything, really. They'll be like, inmate, go back to your dorm. And, the inmate will say something, but he'll still turn around and go back to his dorm. And you'll have other people in line that are like, man, that cracker better not try me like that. And everybody always says that. But then when the officer turns around and tries that same person that was just saying that shit, he don't say anything. And then you also have officers that take it to the next level. And what I mean by that is they will literally, if there's cameras, pull you off in a blind spot and beat the shit out of you. Or they'll cuff you up, bring you to confinement, and then torture you when you're in confinement. So in this episode, I'm going to share a little small brief story about what I went through when I was being booked into jail one night. So from the arresting officer on the street, me and him had words. I was in the back of the cop car and we're driving to the jail and he's talking a bunch of shit. So what do? Shit, I'm going to talk it right back to him. So when I was in the back of the car, I'm like, hey, are we almost at the jail? And I knew where we were. And he didn't answer me. And I'm like, hey, bro, listen, before we get to jail, man, don't forget to stop off at Dunkin' Donuts and get yourself some donuts, fat boy. And he wasn't having that shit. So when I said that, he had all my property that was on me when I got arrested in the cop car. He reached over and grabbed my wallet, opened the window, and threw my wallet out the window on the side of the road. That really pissed me off. So then I started talking more shit to him. I was like, man, it smells like bacon, smells like grease, smells like the Tampa police in this car. I'm saying all this stupid shit to him. And so he sped up on the road we were on, and he knew I was handcuffed. So right when he sped up, he got going, boom, he hits the brakes, and I'm handcuffed behind, and I, boom, face plant the cage that's separating the car in the back. And so we get to the county jail, I'm being booked in. He's still talking shit. Now he's with a bunch of his homeboys that were working booking. And you know how that goes, man. Once they all get together, it's like a gang, bro. They all team up on you. So I was in the holding cell. They had left me in there for I want to say 9 to 10 hours. Shit, I was in there for a long time. So finally, I'm hungry. I'm freaking tired. I want to get to the pod that I'm going to so I can go to sleep, because in the holding cell, all you got is a cold concrete slab on the wall. So I started bucking, man. I was reaching back and running up and donkey kicking the door. I'm banging on it. I'm screaming to get someone's attention, because they just sit there and act like they don't hear you. But if you keep doing that shit long enough, they're going to hear you. So that's exactly what happened. I'm kicking the door. All of a sudden, I look through the hole of the door, and I see 5 officers coming. So they come in. Now, there's a camera in this cell, and it's in the back left corner. So when they come in, they were being all nice, like, man, what are you doing? Why are you bucking? Da-da-da. And I'm selling them out. I'm like, bitch, fuck you. I'm hungry. I want something to eat. Why am I sitting back here for so long? So as we're talking, they're pushing me back into the corner underneath the camera. Right when we got into a blind spot of the camera, bro, these officers just unleashed. They freaking started punching me. They kicked me in my ribs. Eventually, I fell on the ground. I ball up like this, and they're literally just donkey kicking me in my ribs. And they leave. I'm in there. I'm laying on the ground, and I'm not going to lie. They put it on me back there in that cell, so I wasn't saying shit after that. So instead of putting me into a regular pod, I'm all lumped up, fucked up, can barely breathe now. They moved me into medical. So I'm in the medical holding cell. You're only getting out really to get a shower, and that's if you're lucky. It depends on what officers work in the wing. So they finally let me out for a phone call. So I call my people, I tell them what happened. So they give me my attorney's number, and he said he would accept the charges. So I call my attorney and I'm like, listen, bro, I'm suing the shit out of these officers. Like, at that point, I was just tired of dealing with them. And, you know, it's time someone held their ass accountable for that shit. So I'm telling my lawyer this, and he's like, Josh, I'm like, what? Like, he did not seem happy with what I was saying. I thought he'd be like, damn, I got a good case here. But he's like, Josh, bro, I can't take that case. I'll help you with your other charges, but I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Some camera had to have caught something, man. I want some money for this shit. They had broke 3 of my ribs. So every time I breathed, it was like I'm sure some of you guys have had your ribs broken. That shit hurts when you're trying to breathe, and they take forever to heal up. So my attorney's like, bro, you're fucking with the biggest gang there is. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, the officers, bro. He's like, they're their own gang. You know, he was a private attorney in the area that I'm from. And he's like, bro, I can't do it. It won't look good for me. We won't win it. And then I won't get any deals for you on other charges or my other clients because they'll tarnish my name. So I was like, damn, man. So, you know, I had to stay in there and I had to wear that shit. And that's just how it was. And, you know, I'm sure some people watching this, when they hear, you know, me and other channels on YouTube talk about the violence that goes on in prison and in jail with the officers on inmates, you know, some people go to prison and they go to jail and none of that shit happens to them. They don't see anything. They don't experience it. And I wasn't the type that went looking for it. It seems like shit, you know, it could be raining pussies and I get hit in the head with a dick is my luck. So there was another time when I was in the Orlando reception center and an officer broke this kid's arms at the rear gate. He told him to turn around and cuff up, like I said in the intro. And when the dude cuffed up, they were talking shit back and forth. The officer grabbed his hands that were handcuffed from behind his back and pulled up and pulled. I don't know if he pulled his shoulder out of his socket, but it was a huge snap. It was like right when he did it. And the dude immediately like started crying because he was in fucking pain. And, you know, I know that people go to prison and that doesn't happen to them. But I also know that it happens not only in Florida, but it happens all over the United States. So in this video, what I want to do is I'm going to include some clips that I found where the officers beat the shit out of inmates. And you can see in these clips, the inmates never attacked the guards first, or the COs, whatever you want to call them. It's always, it starts out like, because they'll be like, hey, inmate, hey, yo, bitch, come here, and talk to you like that. And then, so what does a normal person do? He's like, bro, you ain't talking to me like that. And then the next thing you know, it turns into shit like this. So I'm going to roll these clips now. Before I do, though, I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with the channel. For anybody new to the channel, man, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And turn your post notifications on all, so every time I drop an episode, you can hear it first. And with that, it's DOC TV, and I'm out.
Sit back then.
Sit right here. Sit down. I'm sitting. Hey, I'm sitting back. Don't hit me in my knee.
Drop your
I'm dropping my head. She was talking at me. I walked the up out of my sleep to be a chunky pig. You pig. I can talk. I can talk about. I stand up and talk. Me, I can talk. What are you talking about? You talking to me? That's just how I said.
I'm very nice, sir.
I'm always like, yo, this is due to excessive force. You mean?
You ain't seen excessive force you followed.
Okay, trust me. Stop the excessive police. Show me excessive.
Hold the head down.
Yeah.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me, I'm sorry.
Stop fighting.
I win.
If you stop fighting, they will stop using force against you. It's all your response.
I can't get the waste. The waste.